and welcome to Prediction Day 24. As you can see, Julian today has a special guest, and I'm that special guest.
Welcome.
And what we'll be doing is we'll be talking through, we'll be sort of having a little bit back and forth on the games. We've got that up, if you'd like to bring up the fixtures.
That looks something like voila.
Good clicking. And yeah, so let's get started. I think the first match, as a spoiler alert, is probably the most interesting match that we're going to talk about.
I think it is, yeah. It's an early kickoff.
Early kickoff, Arsenal against Aston Villa. Now, as the resident Gunners fan, what do you think's gonna? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, I would like to say welcome back, Unai Emery. Long time no see.
Many happy returns.
The thing is, he's beaten us in the semis or finals of the Europa League with was it Valencia, I think, or Seville?
I think it might be Seville.
Sevilla. Yeah, and Arteta was the manager at the time, so there is already a bit of history there. We beat Aston Villa only 1-0 in the first half of the season. This is our second meeting with them. Early kickoff, like we said, we need to bounce back. Because the last 4 games we had, if we include the FA Cup, we've lost a total of 3 matches and drawn 1. So that's a really, really bad blip, as some Arsenal fans still call it, right? I'm thinking there is no other way for us to really respond but with a win. So we really need to get it down, get it done and dusted, go back on top of the league, because we will be on top of the league for at least 3 hours. That is if Nottingham Forest pull off a wonder.
So, just talking a bit more about the Arsenal, I wasn't trying to be rude, I was just looking on my phone to sort of bring up the table. What do you think Aston Villa is going to be an easy game? They're currently placed 11th in the table.
Yeah.
So they're a mid-table team. They're doing quite well this season. They've been able to pull out quite a few results. Like you said, they're not being beaten badly by anyone, really.
No.
I think this is a true test of how serious your title challenge will be.
Yeah.
Because obviously you guys have been ahead fairly comfortable, but we've always said since the beginning that your run of games is much more difficult. Your running is more difficult than Man City's, I think. Especially since you have Liverpool coming back, and they would want, like, you've got Liverpool at Anfield coming up soon as well.
That's going to be a tough match.
You've got another match against Man City.
Yeah.
So I think how you respond, I think you have to beat Aston Villa convincingly. It can't just be like a 1-0 or something.
Well, the thing is, Aston Villa played City last match, if I'm not mistaken, and they lost 3-0. So we're not such a high scoring team. If you look at all our matches,
Fair.
I can't remember the last time we scored like 4 or 5 goals. I mean, we have this season, but last year. So I actually think we might just scrape through with a 1 or 2-0.
But I feel like it's more about the performance you guys put out.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be important that you guys, like, not necessarily like thrash them 4-0 or something, but I do think it's important
a good 2-0 win
and look comfortable at 2-0.
The thing is, we played good against City, apart from our mistakes, which is what allowed City to kind of win. Because
What kind of statement? We played good apart from when we didn't play good.
Yeah, I know, that's so true. It sounds bad, but I think at the same time, we were put under a lot of pressure with City.
But that is City.
And they were playing 4 up front. They were playing a high line. And we almost made it through at times. And the thing is, I still say to this day, the chances we had, which was a total of 3 chances, clear chances actually, if we had Haaland at the end of them, we probably would have scored 3 goals. Sadly, we had Nketiah. I'm not saying sadly, because he's a decent player and he's actually put in the weight.
He's in good form.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But then recently, he hasn't really taken his chances. And those were clear chances.
We're clearly running over because we're talking about the most interesting match. Yeah. So, what's your score prediction?
I'm gonna say 2-0, and we have to consider keeping a clean sheet because we haven't been doing so in our recent matches.
I think you guys will win 3-1. But I wouldn't be surprised if Villa managed to pull out a draw against you guys, like a 1-1.
That would be bad, because we got a game in hand.
Yeah, but then you'd still be one point ahead on it. Like,
that's
anyways.
true. 4 points, yeah. Well, yeah, 1 point ahead, yeah, that's true.
So, next match, Brentford against Crystal Palace. So, Ivan Toney, quite a rich vein of form.
Recently,
Crystal Palace doing okay.
Yeah, they have beaten some top teams. beating some top teams.
Yeah, I feel like this season, like the mid-table is actually really, really tight. So looking at it, so from Everton in 18th up to Leicester City in 13th, there's only 6 points in it, which is only like a 6-point swing game.
Wow.
Crystal Palace are like 1 point ahead of Leicester City at 25 points.
I thought Brentford were higher up.
Brentford are higher up. They're pushing
pushing
top 5. Yeah, they're 34. They're like 5 points behind Spurs.
I mean, they drew against Arsenal. They've got some decent result against some decent teams. They just have to do it against the lesser teams. And I have a feeling Brentford is a strong enough team to actually get a good result against Crystal Palace.
I think this has like a 2-2 written over it for me. Like I'm trying not to just say everything's going to be a draw. I think the first match 3-1 to Arsenal. I think this one might be a 2-2 draw.
I don't know, like if I'm not mistaken, Brentford is the second or third team that's conceded the least amount of goals. Newcastle was obviously first, so I don't see them conceding that many goals. Maybe one, but I think they'll get the dub. They'll grind up for the dub.
Okay, so you're predicting a Brentford win?
I think a 2-1 victory for Brentford. That sounds good.
Going forward, Brighton and Fulham. So I was actually surprised when I looked at the table. So where do you think these two teams are on the table?
Well, Brighton has had a decent run, but I think they've recently dropped off a bit. So they were in and around 5th and 6th, but I think they've dropped down to maybe lower than that, maybe 10th.
Okay, and where do you think Fulham are?
Fulham are actually higher. I think Fulham have done pretty decent. I think they're 8th.
So, would it surprise you to know that Brighton is 6th and Fulham is 7th?
You know
They're
what?
on equal points.
Blimey.
But Brighton has 2 games in hand.
Blimey. You know what? My previous prediction about where they were on the table was very, very wrong.
No, but that's based on recent form, right? So Brighton have been doing poorly recently. So that's why, like, in your mind...
That's crazy.
But then everyone under them have also been, like, dropping points as well. Because it's, like, really, really tight. So I don't know. I think this is, like... What's surprising me is, like, where Fulham are in the table. Like, in my mind, I feel like Fulham are more of a mid to low table team. They're actually pushing on pretty well this season.
Well, they've been up and down. I mean, I used to support them. They used to be the second team that I used to support when they had Zoltán Gera, a midfielder from Hungary, and I think they had Duff as well.
I remember when they had Saha and they were playing they played European football once.
Yeah, they beat Juve. They got to the final. I think they beat AC Milan as well.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, it was incredible back in the days, but they're doing pretty well considering.
So who do you think? Brighton, Chelsea's Chelsea manager Potter's ex-team versus Fulham?
You know what? I'm going to go with Brighton because they have a lot of players have been bought. Big teams have bought a lot of players from them. And they somehow seem to just find the gems and they put a very, very decent season.
I might go opposite to you. So what score do you think for Brighton?
I think 2-1.
2-1. I'm thinking a 1-0 Fulham.
Okay.
I feel like is Mitrovic on Fulham?
Yes, he is. Yeah, he is. So I think he's slowly kind of
he's proving himself as a
he's fallen away a little bit.
Has he?
He had a really good start to the season and mid part of the season. I think towards February and onwards, I don't think he struggled a bit.
Okay. Next match. So big money bags Chelsea versus bottom of the table Southampton.
Wow.
Now, all logic says Chelsea should smash this. Like they've got loads of new signings. They're starting to gel together. It's been a couple of weeks now. They really should be smashing this match.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to smash this match? They've just come off a loss.
Any other year, I would say hands down they are going to win. But this season for them, the fact that they've actually, a recent stat has come out, a short is about to come out as well.
Oh, on which channel?
On ITSO Gaming.
Oh, should these people subscribe so they can turn on notifications?
Please. That would be awesome if you can do that.
You heard the man.
That'd be awesome. But a recent stat states that Marcus Rashford, since the new year, has scored more goals than Chelsea, which is 9. They've only scored 9, which is absolutely incredible. But
just as a
I
side
don't know what
note,
to say.
I'm very much a Simpson in your camera, aren't I?
Are you?
I'm very yellow. Anyways,
And I'm very red.
okay. So what we saying for the
shit,
Chelsea
you're right.
Southampton?
Chelsea Southampton. I think Southampton is going to bag a draw. Chelsea are struggling with the firepower that they have. They're struggling to score one goal. It's crazy.
I mean, like,
I don't know what to
if
say.
I might make a big I think it might be a Chelsea 2-0. Like, I feel like just the pure quality of the team, and Southampton were in shambles this season. Okay, so moving on to the relegation battle for the third relegation spot, 17th place relegation. Leeds 16th against Everton in 18th. 1 point in it, equal games, almost equal goal difference. Everton, recent change in management. I wouldn't look on your phone that obviously if I were you, bro. You might have to edit this stuff out, man. Like, I thought you said one take, man.
It's alright, it's alright.
So
Why not have the phone?
So what do you think? I think Sean Dyche sort of, galvanised Everton. They did just lose in the Merseyside derby, 2-0 to Liverpool.
Well, I think that's one of those derbies that Everton always lose, no matter how bad Liverpool
and
are
also
doing.
like obviously difference in quality.
Yeah.
It's the derby, Klopp. Like, I'm not going to take that much into account. Let's try and get through this a bit quicker. I think Everton are going to eke out a 1-0 win here.
I think so too. I think they got Sean Dyche, who's come in. He had a great first game against Arsenal. Got the dub, which is mad in itself.
Yeah, it started off your poor run of form.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think Everton is going to eke out a 1-0 win here.
Okay. And, I also want Everton to stay in the Premier League, just for AJ3's sake.
Yeah.
Like, Andy, shout out to you. I watch all of your videos. Collab sometime, but, yeah. I want them to stay up, otherwise he'll just be depressed and he just won't mention that he's an Everton supporter.
Fair enough.
Right, now, top of the table. Finally, now that it's heated up. Top of the table, Man City.
It's crazy, they haven't been on the top
against
for a while.
Nottingham Forest. What we saying?
I have a feeling Nottingham Forest is going to get a draw or a dub against City. There's just something about the lower teams that seem to just do one against City. Like they've lost 4 now, City, haven't they? So, and they've lost all against smaller teams, including United.
When is City's next European fixture?
I think it's next week.
Next week. So I agree with you. I don't think they're going to lose. I think it'll be a 2-1 City win. I think it'll be a struggle, and I think it'll be a struggle because I think Pep wants the Champions League, so he might rest a few key players.
I remember back in the days when
he.
Well, I remember when he said he doesn't care about the Premier League, and all of a sudden he's very much pushing towards the Premier League as well. He wants the Premier League. We all know that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. My heart says a draw. My head says City will win. Because.
So what does your heart score? What's your heart score prediction?
My heart score prediction is 1-1.
1-1.
Draw. Yeah.
Okay, and then next is another kind of relegation. I mean, Wolves have kind of pulled themselves out of the relegation battle a bit. They're not that far out of it. They're like, so against second last in the table, Bournemouth. Not much really that of interest for me, apart from Bournemouth getting relegated. They're always the relegation battle team, I feel.
Well, Wolves, what place are Wolves? They're quite low, right?
No, yeah, they're like 15th.
Yeah, so
16th.
That's a bit of a surprise to me because in recent seasons for them, they've been really, really like hounding it down with their results. They've been a strong mid-table team, and at times throughout the first half of the season, they've been top 5, top 6. So it's and they had what's that?
Adama Traore.
Yeah, Traore. Is he back?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
He was on loan to Barcelona.
No, he is back on, as in back at Wolves. Yeah, he is. I thought you meant is he injured or not.
No, okay, yeah. So the thing is, ever since he left, and some other players have left, Wolves have gone kind of downhill. But he's come back. They really need to stay in the Premier League. They're a good team and they deserve to be in the Premier
I
League.
feel like they're going to lose a lot of talent if they're relegated. So what are we saying for score?
I have a feeling, well, Bournemouth are in relegation, right?
Mm.
I think Wolves will do one of them 2-0.
I think this might be a high scoring game, and I think Wolves, are the, I don't know if it's Wolves, but they're the team who are like, they're either hit or miss, right? They're the ones who beat Liverpool 3-0, but then also lose big. So crazy. I feel like they might pull out like a 3 or 4-0 win. Let's say 3-0 win to Wolves for me.
Well, Bournemouth haven't got anything to lose, so that's on their side. So they're definitely, I think they're going to score goals, but I still think Wolves are going to come away with the win.
So speaking of Liverpool, the final match on the Saturday, Liverpool against Newcastle. So arguably the team that has replaced Liverpool in the top 4.
Pretty much, yeah.
What do we think? Newcastle defensively very solid, wasting chances, however.
Yes, that's true.
And Liverpool just won the Merseyside derby. A bit more positive feeling maybe.
Newcastle are known to do good against higher teams. I mean, Liverpool are not doing that great, but they tend to bring it when it comes to these kind of teams. And I think Newcastle are definitely going to bring it. And they need the 3 points more than Liverpool, in my opinion, because they will fall away from the top 3 if they don't get those 3 points. And at one point they were comfortable in third, but due to United's recent good form, which has lasted longer than anyone would have expected, they're almost catching up to the top 2. So Newcastle really need to keep going because you've got Tottenham behind them and a few other teams that are eager to get top 4.
I think the 4th, 5th place battle is a very tight battle.
Yeah.
As a kind of Spurs fan, I kind of want them to lose. But, shout out to True Geordie, I love you. So, again, collab. But, for his sake, I kind of feel like Spurs need a kick up the arse. So I don't mind if they do really badly this season, as long as they galvanise. I want Conte to stay, to be honest, because I think he actually does make the team better.
Yeah.
Also, wishing you well in your recovery in Italy.
Yeah.
I think this might be a 2-1 Liverpool win. I think. I think it'll be a huge result if Newcastle win.
For my friend Hama's sake, I would like Liverpool to win, but
shout out Hama.
Shout out Hama. He's been very vocal this season about his team, and you know what? He actually made quite a bold statement. I know he doesn't have any contact with the team, but he came out and he said that he rather them just to go, if they went on vacation or just like did anything else apart from football, that would be a good run for them. But they definitely need 3 points. If they want to get into top 4, they need 3 points now.
Okay, now we were just speaking about how Man United's rich vein of form has been going. They've just come off a massive, I think, super entertaining Europa League match against the Barcelona at the Camp Nou.
Yeah, that was a good match for sure.
And now they're playing against Leicester, who are surprisingly mid-low, but coming into a rich vein of form. Just smashed Tottenham 4-1.
That was a massive surprise.
So, what do we think? Man United versus Leicester. Do we think that Man United might be a bit fatigued from travel, recent Europe match, and there's massive adrenaline dump?
I think they've got a lot of debt in their team.
Yeah.
That's one thing Arsenal don't have. And I think that the fact that United have had a bit of a shit first half of the season, if they would have had even half of the start that they had on the second, they probably would be up there with Arsenal and stuff. I think that United will do their utmost best to get this win. They are, whatever anyone says, they are still in the title run and anything can happen. And the fact that they are as close as they are, considering how results have gone for the top 2, I think they can't get anything other than a win here. And I think they are going to get a win.
So what do you think it'll be?
I think that if I'm not mistaken, Casemiro's playing. If Casemiro is playing, he's going to really drag the team forward and United will get a comfortable 2-0 win here.
Okay. I think it'll be tighter. I used to support Man United quite a while back. Could you just give a Newcastle Liverpool score?
maybe not.
Okay, think of your Newcastle. You said 2-0 for this. I'll give a score and then give you a Newcastle score.
Okay.
I think it might be. I think it'll be a tough 2-1 win for United. Ten Hag, I think, rested Varane for the game against Barcelona. You know, put out his best team. They've recently had to travel. They might be a bit tired. It was a very exciting match, but unfortunately, after a very exciting match, you usually have a drop in performance. I still think that Leicester's quality this season, and also because they've just had a big win, I think they'll make it a tough match. I think it'll be a 2-1 to Man United.
Okay.
What's your Liverpool?
So yeah, sorry about that. I'm gonna say 2-1 to Liverpool.
2-1. Okay.
Yeah.
And then final match of the weekend: Tottenham versus West Ham, the old London derby.
Yeah, the one that gets lost.
So Spurs, obviously without their manager present, and West Ham struggling surprisingly this season.
I don't think the fact that the manager's not there does anything, because they proved that they can win against City, right? Without the manager there.
Yeah, but then I would also say they did lose 4-1 to Leicester.
They did. I don't know what happened there. I didn't even watch the match, but what did you watch the match?
I watched the highlights. I would say that it was very listless performance. I feel like Conte and his Italian anger might just spur the team on from time to time. And I think being Italian, he plays, he galvanizes the defense of the team. So I feel like his presence does actually make a difference. I would say, I would hope the Spurs win. I think it'll be a 2-0 win to Spurs.
Okay. Well, listen,
I'm hoping for a bounce back.
You want them to be top 4, so I understand why you want a win for them.
I'd be happy if they didn't top 5th.
I would be happy for them to actually get a win, because they know they're no longer in the title race, and we played them twice and we beat them.
Yeah, so now long it doesn't affect you anymore. So
whatever happens with them, I want them to go on some crazy run. I want them to beat everyone.
They have Man City coming up. Is that what you're saying?
No, because they beat them.
Okay.
Already.
So they've done you guys a massive favour.
They did, yeah. I know. We didn't ask for the favour, but yeah, thank you.
You kind of needed it.
Yeah.
Fine. So what's your score prediction?
I say that it's going to be a 2-1. 2-1 win to Tottenham. I don't think it's going to be comfortable. Premier League is not comfortable either.
So I'm going to move back into the middle of the screen. So this has obviously gone on longer than your previous. Obviously, when there's two of us here, a bit more chatty. I think this is a bit more fun.
Definitely. Thank you for joining me.
So those are our score predictions for the weekend, guys. Let us know what you think down in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys with Julian's reaction to this week's match results.
Yeah, let's hope it's a good one for the Arsenal. But
I hope there are tears in the next match. It's like, no, we somehow lost anyways. Right. Peace.